and that is Mike Davis to the Atlanta Falcons. I'm all about this, guys.
Maybe that should have been topic number 6.
We should have moved it up the ladder, all right? It was a higher priority.
But Joe's here for it, so that's good.
Yeah, I just think with Mike Davis going to Atlanta, now, they have the typical 9 picks. They can do what they want in the draft. They'll probably are likely to address the running back position. And when we look at Mike Davis last season, early on when CMC was first down and out, Mike Davis was entirely fantasy relevant. He was putting up great numbers. And then we kind of saw that tail off towards the end, even when CMC came back and then left again. That second stint was something that wasn't too pleasurable. He was almost at times benchable on your fantasy team. Yeah. I am still entirely behind this until I see what happens with that Atlanta backfield. I don't think Ito Smith is going to eat into anything or whoever that other guy is. I think this is Mike Davis's backfield until they draft a rookie running back, which I think is likely. But on the off chance they do, let's just say this. If they address it and they get a running back somewhere in the first, second round, which I don't know if they will, but if they do, that high draft capital tells me obviously they're going to implement this guy. But if they're drafting a guy in like the 5th, 6th, or 7th round, no worries to my qualms. I'm starting Mike Davis. I'm taking him with my 7th or 8th pick. I'm not worrying about it. I think he's going to be great. He's going to be solid.
The problem is, Gabe, if they don't draft a running back till the 5th or 6th round, there's no way in hell Mike Davis is making it to the 5th or to the 7th or 8th round.
Fair enough. So yeah. I'm comfortable taking him probably. I don't think he's going to be one of those guys that's like 2nd or 3rd round. I think he's probably right in the 4th, maybe 5th round, which is right around that late RB2 range. So I'll take him there. I'd feel comfortable taking him there. Jacob, what about you? Joe, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
That's where he's going to end up, right? So if they don't bring in anybody else to address this situation, he's going to be a 5th or 6th round guy. Maybe 4th. Somebody might get bald. You know how it goes, guys. Every year, like imagine last year, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is drafted, and the buzz isn't that big. But then we get to June, and we get to July, and we get to August, and suddenly it's like Damian Williams 2 years ago. Suddenly, Damian Williams went from an afterthought to we had friends that drafted him in the 2nd round.
Yeah, and it's also once the rankings start coming out, and then you start seeing Mike Davis ranked 15th overall running backs, and you're like, damn, maybe I do want to take him in the 5th round.
Yeah, because maybe higher, maybe 3rd round. Oh, listen, the narrative is there's nobody to challenge him for this number 1 spot. We've seen Ito Smith, but we've seen Mike Davis be successful.
And he's proved himself last year.
And listen, guys, yes, he did tail off at the end of the year. Mike Davis was thrust into a CMC light role. This guy was doing and he was getting 10 catches.
Dude, he was top 5.
And dude, he's not crazy. CMC. So there's no reason to think that a guy like Mike Davis should sustain that. But in a season-long role where he's just expected to go out and kind of be the guy, and he's on a good passing team like Atlanta where you have Ridley, you have Julio, you have I can't think of the other guy, but I do like him.
Russell Gage.
And Hayden Hurst. So you have those pass catchers. So even Todd Gurley sucked, dude. This guy was 3 yards a carry, and he was still decent, fantasy relevant for a lot of the year. So Mike Davis to me is an upgrade over Todd Gurley. So if
I agree. Yeah.
If he's there as the guy, he's a 4th round pick, and you're probably, if nothing changes, you're going to get your value out of that pick.
Yeah, I've been keeping my eye on this because, I have CMC in a dynasty league, and I had Mike Davis because he was a handcuff, right? And then I'm like, oh, I'm obviously going to cut Mike Davis. He's going to be a backup somewhere else. Who cares? And now it's wait a minute, maybe not. So it's interesting. And I was also, when we were doing all the videos during the offseason, predicting where people might go, I was somebody like Aaron Jones was going to go to Atlanta, Jamal Williams. I was keeping my eye open for that Atlanta starting running back job because remember the Devontae Freeman days and Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman days, and it's look, you still have Matt Ryan and Julio Jones there. The offense hasn't changed that much. So there's productivity there to be had. And if they go into it, look, I could see them bringing back Brian Hill, sign Brian Hill to a 1-year a $2 million deal, and then they ride it with Ito Smith, Brian Hill, with Mike Davis as the number one guy there.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited because I didn't even know about this until earlier today, and I was listening to a podcast and they mentioned it. It must have slipped my radar, but I'm actually excited about this.